Last week, your favorite home for sim race broadcasting debuted a new series. A full score of drivers climbed into the cockpits of their NASCAR trucks for 90 laps at Las Vegas. After three cautions and with 7 laps to go, Sean Single took the lead for the first time and held it to the very end. Despite leading the most laps than any driver, Trent Potter had to settle for a second place. Today, the racing machines have been scrambled with Xfinity hot rods getting the nod to dance with the lady in black. Can Single do it twice? Can Potter better his opening round runner up? Vegas showed that Max Terry and Connor Blasco are both threats to win, but can they? For the answer to those questions and to others we don't know to ask, pull the lever on the lazy boy and settle in for the excitement of simulated auto racing. Streaming cyberspace into your place from Darlington Raceway, it's the Virtual Grip Network's live and a happen second round coverage of the Red Light Racing League Scrambler Series. It's season 21, a warm Palmetto State. Hello and welcome on this Monday night. It's February 2nd, 2026. Josh Granny Hips Buxley joins yours truly, Bill Soups, on high up in the VGM press box to bring you our words eye view with the boss man, Lowell Jewell, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. Josh, we opened the season with trucks at Vegas. This race is Xfinity cars at Darlington. For the non-racers, what's the big differences between the two?
Well, for starters, it's a car. So obviously going to look a little different than the truck. But other than that, a lot of guys seem to actually like this car a lot better. Drivability of it, more power, just everything about the car. Everyone seems to be able to, they like a little more. As you can see, as you will go through this race, you're going to see these guys, kind of slipping sideways with this car, and just having a lot of fun holding on to it. So it's a lot of fun. And it's definitely different. That's what is really cool about this series, where we go through four different cars. You can't just be super fast with one. You got to be good with all four in order to win a championship. So.
Of course, qualifying going on right now. A little bit about the series. We're going 90 laps tonight. How many sets of tires do they get?
It's a total of 5 sets, the set that they will start the race on, and then 4 additional sets.
You got it. Fast repairs?
No fast repairs.
Ooh, big boy racing. You break it, you bought it. Of course, we have NASCAR rules, so we do have green, white checkers, the wave around. And there are no drop races, so everything that happens on the track has meaning. With that said, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the points. Not a whole lot to show you. It only one race in the book. This basically reflects what happened in the season opener, with the exception of bonus points. Now, there's 3 bonus points for a win. Sean Single got that, plus 1 for leading a lap. 2 bonus points for Tress Potter. I guess Potter got 1 for leading a lap and the most laps. Or maybe 1. What is it, Josh? 1 for being clean, or is it most laps?
It's going to be the most laps, as well as leading a lap will get you a point.
Got it. And then the rest of them follow in order. Bonus points are going to be important. I do like that 3 points for the win because it makes that battle for the lead all the more important there, especially if it's real close coming to the checker flag. You may want to give it a little more of the college try to get the most points you can. Qualifying going on right now. What about passing, Josh? Qualifying going to be important, or is this a place you can wait and work your way through the field?
Qualifying is definitely going to be important. A lot of the drivers talking to them during practice. This is going to be slick, and cars are sliding all over the place. So passing is going to be hard to do, but it is possible. You just got to wait for the right opportunity. Passing in the proper areas. You don't want to be trying to pass, and like off a turn two, trying to go too wide right there. It can get very tight, and someone will wind up in the wall if it doesn't take both of you out together. So.
Yeah. This is probably a silly question for race fans, but we do get new viewers who are unfamiliar with the sport. Here at Darlington, I'm correct in thinking the outside line is the place to be?
It's a different line between the two corners. Essentially, in turns 1 and 2, you're going to kind of dive down into 1 and drift up into 2, and kind of, make a wider arc to get low off of 2. 3 and 4, it's kind of riding the wall kind of deal. Some guys might go low, but for the most part, you try to stay mid to high.
Well, we got a nice field of 19 drivers. 15 of them were able to put in qualifying times, 4 did not. We hope all 4 of those will grid up and race with us tonight. Let's go ahead and get you the grid right now. We'll do it a row at a time. Well, it's Maxime Theriault. He was very quick last race. He's going to be starting on the pole. The man who led the most laps in Vegas, Trent Potter, outside of row 1.
And in third place, you're going to have Zach Mitchell, and to his outside is his teammate Chris Hammett.
Opening round winner and points leader Sean Single will be starting in 5th. He's going to be inside of Connor Blasco. Watch out for Blasco. He's quick.
And 7th, you're going to have Jeffrey Souza, and to his outside is Luke Logan Allen.
Ethan the Mountain Troutman will be starting in 9th position, flanked by Papa Kenny Allen.
11th is going to be Jeff Lemire, and to his outside is Bill Benedict.
In the Baker's dozen spot, it's James Bone Skelton with Ben Coulters in 14th.
15th is going to be Devin Visnaw, to the outside, Jason Wells.
Tim Combs and Bruce Potter go 17th and 18th.
And the 19th position is going to be Tony Strano.
Our spotlighted driver today is Bill Benedict. We'll keep an eye on him. Simon and Poindexter in those smoke-filled back rooms in the Vegas casinos have put the line for Benedict at 9.5. My partner missed the first one. Let's see if he does better here in the second race. They've set it at 9.5. Granny Hips, bet the under if you think Benedict will do 9th or better. The over for 10th or worse.
Well, with this one in the field and the guys we got in this, I'm going to have to go with the over.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. My partner does not play favorites. He calls them like he sees them. I think 9.5. 9th is a possibility for Eggs if he can get up there. Okay, we are glad you are with us. Round number 2 here in South Carolina. The perfectly mesmerizing Josie Kirkland behind the wheel of the pace car. She pulls it in. They wait for the flag man now. You know what to do. Theriault on the inside, Potter on the outside. They wait, they wait, they wait, they wait, they wait. Holy moly, what patience. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows. The horses are out of the barn. Theriault leads the stampede down into the first corner, immediately moves to the top line. Potter in second. Third and fourth is Mitchell and Hammett rounding at you top 5. Last week's winner, Sean Single.
Yeah, one thing I'm really not surprised by right now, how quickly everybody's already single filed out. These corners get very tough, especially with the cold tires right now, so everyone's just trying to get everything up to temp, just figure out where they are on the track, and then just go from there.
They race beneath the clouds. Blasco, Allen, Sosa, Troutman, and Allen in the back half of your top 5. And the first Allen was Luke Logan, and the last Allen was Papa Ken.
Yeah, right now the biggest thing that these guys want to do is just get into a rhythm, make sure they're hitting their lines, stay off of that wall. You do not want that Darlington stripe, especially early. One thing that some guys have been talking about is even what they thought was the slightest tap to the outside wall, they wound up with right front damage, and it hindered their run from there.
That outside wall is so very close here at Darlington. The question in the commentator's booth before we went live was how far can they go on a fuel run? We don't think they can get 30. We're thinking maybe it's going to be at least maybe 2 stops and a splash. These guys, only 3 caution flags last round. We'll see how Darlington plays out. Vegas was a totally different animal, Josh. They were spread out all over the place with much different racing lines than we see here tonight. Looks like it's the top line.
Yeah, I think for the most part, we're going to be seeing pretty much the same line. As for spreading out, I think especially if we could get a green flag pit stop, it'll definitely start spreading some of these drivers out here. And we'll see how it goes from there. Another thing, do keep in the back of your mind, 2-tire pit stop might be a play here. I know in the practice session last night, someone apparently took that gamble. So I'm just curious to see if it'll work tonight.
Connor Blasco was able to get his way around Sean Single. So Blasco now moving up into 5th position. Single drops back. Let's look at the 11. He's also being aggressive. Oh, that's Single again. I think he was trying to get his, well, he lost another spot. Luke Logan Allen just got around him. Single going the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't know if he maybe just got a little loose off the corner there and just had to go down the track to save it. I'm not really sure. Or either way, maybe he just thought Luke was giving him a little too much pressure and just wanted to let him by early.
Well, Kid Lemon Lime up 2 spots. Single has a drop starting in 5th, racing in 7th. And now you don't need to adjust your TV or your monitor or your phone, whatever you're watching. Yes, indeed, they raced from underneath the clouds and it's brightened up a little bit.
Yeah, as you just saw, Luke Logan Allen actually do the same thing Sean Single did, but had to use a lot more track to hold on to that car. And great job by keeping that all in one piece.
Of course, we do allow pit stops, but is pacing yourself, is saving the tires on a long run, is that a strategy?
It's definitely, but a lot of the guys up towards the front, they're going to do their best to not try to overheat their tires and overuse them early. Try to have them later in the long run. A lot of these guys, they've been doing this for so long, they've got this figured out. And I definitely would be surprised if anybody really used their stuff up early in the front.
We're looking at your leader, 42 Terrio. Let's focus our attention now on car number 90, racing in 11th position. He's our spotlighted driver tonight. He's got to make up 2 spots to get to the under. We're talking about Bill Benedict. Benedict ahead of a group there that has Bone Skelton in there. Jeff, Time to Wallow in Lemire. Jason Wells.
Yeah, something I'm going to be really curious to see right here is you look at where Benedict, right behind him is James Skelton. Now, Skelton had an issue in qualifying. Apparently, he sounded like he tapped the wall, which in iRacing, if you do any sort of touch to any wall or anything like that, it negates your time. So he had to start in the back. James generally has pretty good speed at Darlington. Every time we come here, he seems to find his way towards the front. So I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to make this move.
Nice little battle between Papa Ken Allen and the 49. This is to get into the top 10. Not surrendering Casper, though, is... this is his son. This is dad against baby. Ken in front of Luke.
Yeah, it's always a little entertaining when you see these two around each other. You're always curious if they might want to try to ruffle each other's feathers. I doubt this early in a race they will, but it's definitely always the bragging rights when they can go home who is able to finish better.
Well, I don't think it's right that dad can yell, take out the trash during the race. That's inappropriate. Here comes Luke, going underneath. He got him. They race in separate rooms of the house.
Oh, get Luke into the outside wall there a little bit.
Oh, just skinnying up the car for the last lap so you can go 3 wide down the middle. Positions are hard to come by. One guy who's picked up 3 of them is car number 64 in the Baker's Dozen spot, Jason Wells. Next on his hit list is our spotlighted driver, Bill Benedict. Last time we checked on Benedict, he was in 11th. Eggs now down in 12th. Most of the action is farther back. Nothing going on up front. With that said, let's check in on second, because a guy getting a little bit itchy is Zach Mitchell in the 8. He's been working on the back of Trent Potter. Oh, and now he gets the ball.
Yeah, it's always the thing here. It's like you're starting to get closer and closer to that car in front of you. You feel like you can just push a little more, and that's exactly what happens when you try that sometimes.
Oh, and now getting the wall is the 18 of Potter. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Or in this case, the Potter.
Yeah, this is going to be what happens throughout the race, especially as these tires start to wear. Like, you were able to get in there 5 laps ago a lot heavier than you are now, and you got to really compensate for that. And if you don't, you'll see those simple mistakes just like both those drivers did.
you can see the gap between them and the leader now. All that nonsense and wall kissing has given quite a lead to Terrio.
Yeah, another thing to also keep in mind is when these cars really get close to each other on like that, air can obviously change the handling of both cars. You know, the car in front, you know, obviously a little more loose with the tail, and then the car behind can get really tight.
I'll tell you, does VGN have a good drone? That drone has some pace. It was able to stay right with those cars. No scrimping here at VGN. That's not your $99 drone. That's an expensive one.
Nothing but the best here.
Indeed. Check in on car number 64 again. He's picked up another spot. This is Jason Wells. Now he's working on Kid Lemon Lime, and he gets that spot.
Yeah, Jason's definitely.
Direction.
Yeah, Jason's definitely that driver. He's a very quiet driver. He'll make his way through the field without a lot of people really noticing. It definitely has some speed, so be looking for him to get closer to the front as this goes.
We're going to jump you around a little bit, and we hope you took your Dramamine. Let's look at the car currently in 8th position. This is car number 86, James Bone Skelton. Now, I did some research, and what they call here in the red light racing league, it's something called Kenneletics. Kenneletics, and it said that Skelton was indeed the favorite. Apparently, he has a lot of success here with the Lady in Black.
Yeah, it's just going back to what I said earlier. Is that every time we come here, he normally has speed. Obviously, just a qualifying mistake on his part. So it'll be a little more difficult to get through the field. But as you see, he's working his way up.
Skelton and Wells, your big movers so far, up 5. Scrolling through, we were expecting a lot from Connor Blasco. He's currently racing in 5th, up 1 position. He may be doing a little bit of sandbagging and playing possum, perhaps. The number 95 comes out from under the clouds down the backstretch. He's close enough. He's got Terrio, Mitchell, Potter, and Hammett in his sights.
Yeah, it's still really early. You know, they haven't even gotten the first pit stop in there yet. So he might just be kind of riding where he's at right now. He's really not in a bad position. So it definitely doesn't hurt to just sit there and kind of feel out, how his car is going to be and everything, and then make the moves later.
Oh, can you hear the female teenage hearts breaking across the nation as Luke Logan Allen drops another spot now, down into 14th. Ben Coltis goes around him. Coltis up 1 spot from where he started. There he is. Oh my, that was close.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about before the race. Turn 2 is a very difficult place to try to pass because coming off that corner, it gets so tight if you are too wide. And it, just like you saw there, a great job by both those drivers not to water up each other, but definitely got tight there.
That is Tony Strano in the yellow number 3, getting it done on Jeff Lemire. And everybody take a sip of your non-alcoholic beverage as we play the VGN consumption game when soups, rods, and cones don't do them justice. I've been told that the number 3 is green. Kenny Allen trying to fend off Bill Benedict. Benedict's been all over the place. We checked in him, he was 11th and he's 12th. Now he's up into 10th. Look at one more spot, puts him in the under.
Yeah, I think he's trying to prove me wrong from what I said. He must have heard it before get going, and he's just like, well, I'm going to prove him wrong tonight.
Drivers to watch who are on the move. The 86 of Skelton, he's coming. You're looking there at Papa Kenny Allen fending off Bill Benedict. Best battle on the track right now. Look what our director's just given us. Positions gained, positions lost. You can see Skelton with a 5 and an arrow pointing up. Thank you, Director. That was pretty slick. I talk about it and it shows up. Need you to come over and see if you can find that $100 bill that I've lost somewhere in my house. I had it.
I'm curious to see now is lap 25. Pit strategy is going to start to come into play as we cross the lap 26. I'm really curious to see if guys are going to try to push 30 laps here or if they're not going to be able to make it.
Talk a little bit about Darlington. Pit entry, easy, hard, normal? What do you think?
Difficult, for sure. Getting woed down, plus you got the corner. It comes up on you very quick, and you got to make sure that you have that car woed down. And these things do not stop on a dime, for sure. So it's definitely a handful to try to get on a pit road aggressively, but not too aggressive and wind up with a speeding penalty.
Who's going to be first to pit? You got to think that Terrio, who's been out front, not getting a lot of help as far as the air being moved out of the way for him. If there's fuel to be burned, he would be burning it, but he is so close. 90 laps, the magic number would be 30. We have one taker, and it's Devin Visna. He was on the lead lap.
Yeah, I know these guys up towards the front. If they have some space, in between each other, they are probably thinking try to push it as far as they can. And a lot of these guys are pretty good at fuel saving, so we'll have to see how it plays out.
You have to wonder if maybe the undercut, if you want to, you really can't afford to come in before 30 because this thing could go green all the way. You want to do it in 2. If you can't do it in 30 lap stints, you have to make a splash and go at the end. But you have to figure if they would come in, get fresh rubber, that rubber would be so beneficial time-wise.
Yeah, the rubber is beneficial, but it's also the amount of time you're already going to be on pit road trying to woe down for the pit road speed and everything like that. So it kind of offsets, I think.
You're looking at this battle for second, which might heat up when it's time to pit. Really not important whether you're second, third, or fourth on the track right now. Probably very important whether you're second, third, or fourth down pit lane.
Yeah, I think right now we're on lap 30 as it is, so I think you're going to start seeing a lot of guys coming down pit road here.
Well, let's see.
Trent Potter.
Maximum Terrio, is he waiting to come in? Nope, he's going around.
Yeah, see Trent Potter trying to get really hot on the pit road there.
Yeah, we get a few of them, about a handful. Terrio does that. Oh, I heard someone get in the wall. We're going to stay green. This is not the time. I think Lemire might have had some issues. He seems to be off the pace, or maybe he's just coming into pit. It wasn't a visual sound. It was an audio. Well, obviously, it's not a visual sound. I wasn't alerted visually. I was alerted my ears heard it.
Man, I just saw Sean Single try to get onto pit road hot and heavy. His car was sideways. He somehow kept it on, and I don't know how he made pit road, but.
Looking to see who is out. It looks like it's Potter, who is leading all the cars that have pitted. Let's go ahead and pick up Trent right now. Trent in the 18, I think he's currently in 12th spot. Where's our leader? Just coming into pit lane. Did something happen to Terrio? Did he have to go through again? Or is he just pulling in now? My goodness.
I think he's just pulling in.
In his box.
Yeah, one thing with waiting as long as you can here, if we have to use green-white checkers, if it's that close on the fuel there, that those couple extra laps will definitely help you if you have to use green-white checkers later on.
Okay, we want to focus on Potter. He just went across the start-finish line now. Terrio is rolling out on the track. There goes Potter. See you later, boy, like you're a skater boy.
Yeah,
Look
this
at
is definitely the benefit.
Go ahead.
It's definitely the benefit of coming in on, a couple laps earlier. It happens every place we go to. You're going to see that. The question is now, can Max fill that gap up?
My timing and scoring shows a stop for Potter of 15.1, for Terrio 14.7, so a tick faster for Terrio, but that's not how it showed up. Benedict inherits the lead, but he's coming in out now. All the stops have been made. We'll set the table for you. The big news is the switch up top. We'll wait for everything settled down before we run through the field. And we can do that now. Timing and scoring going to sort its way out. All right, director, stick with me. I'm going to do this kind of quick. Number 18, your leader, out in front by about 1.78 seconds is Trent Potter, all done on a pit lane pit stop. Now, no cars between him on the track. Max Terrio races in second. Just about 4 or 5 car lengths back in third is Chris Hamill. Started in fourth, up 1 position. I think a driver to watch is in fourth, Connor Blasco. But my goodness, he is about 3.3 seconds behind the leader. He's got some territory to make up. In fifth, it's Zach Mitchell, all by himself. The guy who's made up a ton of positions, 7 of them, is James Bone Skelton, as he comes up right behind the lapped car of Jeffrey Sousa. Sousa gets out of the way. Skelton continue his drives forward. Watch out for Ethan the Mountain Troutman, car number 62 in 7th. He's comfortable now, but right behind him, he has the opening round winner, Sean Single. They race in 7th and 8th. You got to go way back before you find Ken Allen in 9th, and the last car on your top 10, a half a spot away from hitting the over-under line, is Bill Eggs Benedict. I like it when I can do a top 10 rundown and the drivers cooperate. That is a recipe for a caution flag. And we have a pass for the lead. No, it says, what is up with, oh, I'm sorry. That is Luke Logan Allen that was being lapped. Luke is just really off the pace.
Yeah, that looked like he was struggling a little bit in practice too. Just the stability of the car, slick track, things like that. It just definitely, and I think when he had that big slide earlier, that definitely didn't help him at all. Yeah, you can see him. He's really trying to hold on to that car. A little bit of a wiggle there.
So, Potter trying to keep a bit of a cushion between him and the guy in second. So you're asking me, Soup, well, between Potter and Terrio, who was fastest in qualifying? Well, that would go to Terrio, who put in a 29.72 compared to a 29.74. Honestly, they're both pretty much the same.
Yeah, both these guys got some pretty good speed, as obviously you can tell from last week and going ahead again to this week. Really interesting thing is going to be, now that we got that green flag stop under, you can notice how everyone's kind of spread out a little more. This is where kind of things are just going to kind of, go about their time, and, you're going to do their, schedule stop and all this stuff and just go from there.
Driver to watch. Let's look at car number 11 in 7th position. He just got around Ethan the Mountain Troutman. We're talking about the opening round winner, Sean Single. I don't know, it may be a case of not who's fastest on the track, but who's fastest getting down pit lane, getting off a pit lane, and taking just the right amount of fuel.
Oh, absolutely. Pit strategy is going to be a key here, especially if we continue green the rest of this race, which is definitely something that could happen with these drivers out here. The 2-tire stop, it could be all sorts of things that change everything up, but you'll never know.
I'd like to point out that Potter came in 2 laps earlier than Terrio. We talked about the undercut. Perhaps those 2 laps on fresh rubber were enough for him to not only make the pass, but also put a little bit of gap between them.
Yeah, no, it's definitely earlier get out there is definitely a good idea. The question becomes as the the run comes later, as you can see Max is starting to track down Trent. Are those tires going to fade off, or Max's is still a little better for a couple laps?
And you're tempted to do the math. You're saying, Soup, I can see it on the tower there. We're going 90 laps. That's 30, 30, 30. But like John Lennon said, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Don't forget about green, white, checker. You may need a little extra to go a few overtime laps.
Oh, absolutely. That's where I thought it was a really good idea for Max to stay out that couple laps. As you can see, he's really starting to catch Trent now. Just a couple extra laps, definitely. If he decides to do that on his next pit stop, that gains you a couple extra laps again compared to what Trent was doing. And that could, if you get 2 green, white checkers, that could be, the deciding factor at the end.
And in theory, if you can go a little farther, I know this is kind of obvious, but if you can go a little farther, that last pit stop, you need a little less fuel.
Exactly.
You only have to go 25 laps, and while your competitor has to go 30.
Yeah, and here goes Max for the lead against Trent, and Trent's just going to let him go here into 1 and 2.
So he runs them down. Could be a couple of things. Could be Potter saving fuel. Could be Potter saving tires. Every point counts. There are bonus points for most laps led. Terrio's got 31 of them. Potter 12. Remember, he led the most laps in the season opener as well. If you do that every race, you pick yourself up an extra, can't remember how many races in the schedule. I believe it's like 14, so pick yourself up with an extra 14 points. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, definitely every point matters, especially when you're trying to, if you're trying to point your way into the playoffs. Every point can be a big deal. I've been it myself where, I've been eliminated in a tiebreaker, with the last race, and, I've also made it by a tiebreaker. So every point matters. Any lap you can lead, anything like that.
We ride looking off the tail of our leader, the French-Canadian Maxime Thériault. Says he doesn't do a lot of road course races. He only races 1 road course a year, and that is the endurance race. And him being French, I just assumed, he said, I could go to Le Mans to do that, but no. He does the 24-hour of Daytona.
Yeah, there's a bunch of us every year. We'll normally have like 2 or 3 teams of just we're running the 24-hour Daytona. We, Max is a part of one team, and I was a part of another. It's a good thing that we do that's different from what we normally do with a lot of the oval stuff. We do it 1 time a year, and it's at the 24 hours Daytona, so it's a lot of fun.
And we want to give a little tip of the hat to the platform we're doing this on. This is iRacing. So good that iRacing getting the gremlins out of those 24-hour races. There were times where, well, they were rough to get them in. But you seem to have that in pretty good shape now. Pretty amazing when you think about what iRacing does. They have stock car racing, road course racing, dirt racing, off-track racing. Yeesh.
Yeah, it's pretty much you name it, they got it.
School buses. I'm still asking for school buses, but that one's not coming. Yeah.
School buses, and the only other one that I know of, Rob, you were watching, he's going to say it, and he's going to scream it at the top of his lungs, so I'm going to say it for him. Super modified.
Oh. Okay, Kid Lemon Lime. Not his night. You know, it is a Monday night. He's 12 years old. He might have like some history homework to do. Why don't you call it a night? Get a better grade on that test coming up at the end of the weekend. race for dessert, so it looks like his dad's going to get the better finish, so he'll get 2 helpings of cherry pie tonight. Nothing for the boy. It's much easier as a commentator to tell the tale of the story when they stay green. When you have a caution fest and there's accidents and guys are moving to the front and the back, it's hard to get a feel of what's going on. Let me tell you the driver to watch. Let's focus on the 86. James Bone Skelton, he is coming, working on the back of Blasco. Both of these guys are really quick. Would not surprise me if we don't see the 95 and the 86 together work their way up into the top, well, podium and give those guys a run for the money. Right now, they're how far back? About 4 seconds back? Let's look on the tower. Yeah, Blasco about just a tick under 5 seconds back of the leader. That's going to be hard to make up. Honestly, he might need a help of a caution flag. Skelton looking to try to get the pass made.
Yeah, it's definitely a big gap to try to fill up. Obviously, caution would be the most optimal way to do it. Another thing you might be able to think of, I was talking about earlier, there's a possibility of maybe taking a 2-tire stop. I'm not sure, but that can definitely eat up some of that time. But then again, you know, how much are you losing doing 2 tires compared to 4? So it's always a gamble.
Skelton on parade as he gets underneath Blasco. One more spot for James. 8, our big mover. Let's look at car number. Okay. Go ahead, Parker.
Just the way James is going here, it's smooth and steady, but those laps are starting to wind down at the same time too. We're over halfway. He might run out of time before we get to the end here.
We like to give love wherever we can. Director, stay with me. Go to car number 17, racing in 11th position. It's Tim Combs. He is up 6 spots. The car he just went around was a lap down. That was Devin Vista. Vista not having the race that he hoped for coming in tonight. Combs 1 spot away from getting to the top 10. That would be Kenny Allen. He can see Ken. Ken's on the same straightaway. We'll keep an eye on that. Check in on our spotlighted driver. Well, he's got there. Bill Benedict in the 90 now in the 9th spot. Telling my partner, oh ye of little faith.
Yeah, he's doing everything to prove me wrong, so.
But honestly, if I were to tell the truth, the class of the field tonight is Max Terrio. He's led 44 laps. The only reason he hasn't led them all was a miscue on pit strategy. We'll see if he falls for that again.
I don't know if it's really
We're
a
on
miscue.
lap
I think that was
59. We are right there, right, buddy?
Yeah, no, I think that was definitely planned by Max, to be honest with you, though. He's definitely that one who'll always try to stretch it as much as he can. He's very smart when it comes to strategy.
All right, it worked for me once. It'll work for me again, says Trent Potter, who pits from second. He gets to the 30-lap mark. He pits. He gets to the 60-lap mark. He pits. What he's looking to do is have a clean stop, then get out and have himself 2, 3, maybe 4 laps on fresh rubber to put a distance between him and his biggest rival, Terrio. Terrio's going to stay out. Hammett stays out. Mitchell stays out. Trent Potter rolling off pit lane. Pit stop time, 15.3. That's about what he did last time. Sounds like a 4-tire stop. He's out on track, the leader of all the cars who have pitted. Terrio continues to stay out losing time. Every lap he stays out is distance that Potter will make up on new rubber.
Yeah, looks like we got a few takers. You saw Jason Wells, looks like Chris Hammett, Connor Blasco, Sean Single on pit road.
Trent Potter working down the backstretch. Terrio going into corner number 1. They are separated by a lap and a half. When will he come in?
Oh, and it looks like the 86 missed pit road on that last lap there. Looks like he's going to be coming in again.
Horrible news for James Bone Skelton, who was having a great run. That'll definitely put a monkey wrench in his machinery.
Yeah, it's just that fine line from trying to keep speed on the pit road and just having too much.
Cinderella has a curfew. Max Terrio coming in on lap. My goodness, what lap is it for him? Lap number 64. He went 32 the first stint. He went 32 the second step. Let's put our cameras on Trent Potter. Just going across the start-finish line right now. He is racing as fast as he can. He's all by himself on the track, but he is racing the driver in pit lane. Potter out of 2, down the backstretch. Terrio just getting to his box. My sense tells me that Potter's going to blow by him here, just like he did last time. Potter out of 4. Terrio sits. Terrio rolls. Potter is long gone. And if it was see you later like you were Skater Boy last time, he has just crushed them. In fact, Terrio has lost a spot to Hammett.
I'm curious if Hammett took 2 tires there, because he definitely was a little ways back on that one. So the only thing I can think of is he took 2.
Well, Potter's time, 15.3. Hammett's time, 15.3. Terrio, 14.8. Terrio faster again. But the difference is Potter stayed out or got on track with fresh rubber 5 laps earlier than Terrio. Hammett came out 1 lap after Potter, so both those guys. Now, they have the advantage now, but they won't have the advantage later, because just like my big brother, I was always 7 years younger than him, no matter how old we got.
Yeah, I'll be really curious to see if Max is going to be able to track everyone down here. It's going to be difficult from this distance, but he's already shown with the, how smooth he is driving that car. He might be able to make this work.
Do the fans hear the rim shot, or is that just for me, Director? Okay. Oh, it's on the broadcast. Oh, gee, we need a house band. All right, let's set the stage after the pit stops. I think this thing has the flavor that's so sweet in the mouths of both the racers, the commentators, and the viewers alike, and that's a green flag run. Trent Potter, he's good to go the distance, and he's got himself about a 2-second lead over Max Terrio. Now, there is a driver between them. Not sure if he's a factor, and that would be Chris Hammett. Of course, Hammett's been racing up front the whole time. He might have something left that he hasn't showed us yet. Got to go away back between. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I'm just saying it's definitely possible for Hammett to kind of sneak in there and take something. He's definitely done that before in the past. He does have speed, but I don't know if he's going to have enough to keep up with those 4 freshies.
Let's look at Jack Mitchell in 4th. Zach all by himself right now. About 4 or 5 car lengths back is Connor Blasco. We thought Blasco was going to be fast. He was fast in the opener. Did not get a good result, a result that merited how fast he was. Now remember, Blasco was in that battle with Skelton, but Bones had that pit stop penalty, so he's well down the order now. Let's look at the driver in 6. Round 1 winner, that's Sean Single, all by himself. Even with an extra stop, James Skelton in 7th. Stay with me, director. We'll look at the 62 now of Ethan the Mountain Troutman. In 9th, Papa Kenny Allen. He's happy to be inside the top 10. Happy that he's getting 2 pieces of cherry pie tonight, as he's going to get the best of his son. And then, well, do they know how to put a line? Simon and Poindexter in Vegas, they set it at 9.5. He's right there. Bill Benedict in 10th. Needs one more spot. There's your top 10. I'm going to go a little farther. We only have 12 cars on the lead lap. Let's give a tip of the hat to this guy's having a nice race. James Wells, up 5 spots. I'm sorry, it's Jason Wells. And then finally, the last car on the lead lap. And he's going to be there for a while because Potter's got a little bit before he gets there. Tim Combs.
So we are going to have something that looks like Max is looking on Hammond. Hammond was getting close to Trent Potter there as well. So
we like to show you the battles all through the field. We don't always like to focus on the front, but right now, if we were focusing on the best battle, it is car 18, 6, and 42. As they race 1, 2, 3, pretty much nose to tail. Now, the fastest car all race has been Max Theriault. He gets underneath Hammond. Hammond's going to make him earn it. Oh, he gets in the wall, but he does not get into Theriault. I thought we were going to have a little bit of a carom shot there. Wall, Hammond, Theriault, but no. Good job from the 6 to stay off of the guy who has been the best. And now, all race long, we thought it would have been these 2 guys, Potter and Theriault. And honestly, Theriault has been considerably better than Trent Potter, but maybe Trent's been saving stuff. Remember, Theriault's got 5-lap pressure tires. And it was basically a fait accompli here out of corner number 2 with the momentum. Down in the inside. That wasn't a surrender, but it was a very courteous go get him. New leader. He's led 50 laps. Max Theriault.
And Max has just been smooth all night, just watching him. You know, like some of these other guys, you're watching them wiggle and bobble and drift and all that. And Max has just been really good at just keeping his car as straight as possible.
Okay, we got an important battle for you. It is the battle for 9th. It is the battle for our spotlighted driver. This is Bill Benedict. He's 2 car lengths back. We'll stay on this a little bit. Right now, Benedict doing what I like to call some reconnaissance racing. Not really putting the pressure on Allen. He ran him down, and now he's just going to sit back there. Tire-wise, they are both pretty much on the same stint. We'll keep an eye on this while your leader, let's go back up front. No surprise. Look how quickly he gaps the guys behind him. And look, Hammett now has got around Potter. We missed that. So Potter back in 3rd. I think Hammett might have been listening to the broadcast. Might have got a little bit offended there that I didn't think he had the stuff to rub with those guys. I'll show you soup. I hope I didn't make him go too soon. Don't want to use up his stuff just to prove me wrong. All right, we're watching two things. We're watching the battle up front, then we're checking back in. This is interesting. How about the fly in the ointment here? Car number 4. He is 29 laps down. No, he's not. He's only 2 laps down, but he is Jeffrey Souza. Check on Souza. He must be on fresh rubber, a little bit fresher than those guys as he blows them by. Benedict gives them a big path, a big distance there. Plenty of room between him and the guy 2 laps down that's on a roll. Look at the difference that fresh tires can make. Souza just picks them up. Now he drifted up in front of Kenny Allen. Kenny Allen lost his momentum. That might be the opportunity for Benedict to get the pass. Whoop, a little bit of the wall, 90.
Yeah, that's when you're starting to get a little too anxious and trying to get in there, and then you get so close to the car, and then all of a sudden they don't want to turn no more.
You know, that's not really the way the lap traffic usually works. Usually you run up on them and they're in your way, and this was not that case. The lap traffic was faster. Made the pass, came up in front of Kenny Allen, maybe gave him a little bit of an arrow push and lost momentum. Benedict stalking him. On the cars on the lead lap, probably the best battle is that one. Hammett has just pulled away from Potter.
So yeah, it's really looking like Potter really tried to just stay in front of Max for as long as he could, drive it as hard as he could, and now he's kind of paying the price a little bit.
There are 2 drivers I want to highlight. Let's look at the drivers in 4th and 5th. I thought they would be good, and they have proven me correct. We're talking about Connor Blasco. Remember early in the race, I thought that Blasco and Skelton might race their way up to battle for a podium spot. Well, they're right there. Don't know if they have enough to get to Potter, but Blasco in 4th, and then Skelton. I got to check my timing and scoring to see if he's actually credited with an extra pit stop. Now they're showing him with 2. Maybe he just had a pass through. Nice
Yeah,
run,
no,
though.
he missed the road is what it was.
He missed it, so he just said, okay. Pretty impressive run from him to be in 5th with that drive-through. You got to figure that cost him, 10, 15 seconds on the track at least, so he'd be right up there with Potter.
Oh, absolutely. It's just showing how fast he is here. You know, even with the mistakes, where he's sitting, it's rather impressive.
Let's look at single. This is a battle for 7th. Troutman on the outside. Sean Single trying to make it work. So hard to make this pass when we get later in the race. It's not as fun to go down low on old tires.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more difficult to keep the car down there and try not, and not drift up into the car on the outside and wreck you both. But a good job of trying his best there, just losing grip this time in the run.
I have one eye on the leaders, one eye on the Single Troutman battle, and then my third eye on Allen and Benedict. Your leader, Maxime Theriault. Running out of laps as we are on lap 88. Theriault, Hammett and Potter, 1, 2, and 3. Blasco and Skelton, 3rd and 4th.
As you see, Bill Benedict passing Kenny Allen there for 9th.
Getting to the magic number as if he was listening to the broadcast. Troutman leaving Sean Single behind. Well, he's racing down the backstretch. He hails in car number 42. It's been said that inside each driver I watched The Legend of Bagger Vance the other night, is one perfect race. You can't learn it. You can't be taught it. It's something that's inside you that has to be remembered. You get away all the would-haves and the could-haves, and it opens you up to the possibility of what can be. Out of corner number 4, a living example to what Bagger Vance was talking about. Max Terrio with a perfect race tonight as he gets the win. Chris Hammond in second. Trent Potter in third. Blasco and Skelton go fourth and fifth. And we'll stay with it. We're not leaving yet. Let's put the camera on our spotlighted driver, Phil Eggs Benedict, out of 4, coming across the line in 9th position, hitting the under, making my partner 0 for 2 in his betting wagers this season. With that said, we'll take a short break. Don't go far. We'll come back and run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. You're watching the Virtual Grit Network. Welcome back to Darlington Racetrack and Virtual Grip Network's Live as It Happens coverage of the Red Light Racing League Scrambler Series. It's round 2 of season 21. The results are in. Let's give them to you now as soon as I can find them so I can tell you how it went. I found him. Okay, it is Max Terrio. He started on the pole and he finished first, but he led several laps to get there. He'll get bonus points for 3 points for a win, a point for leading a lap, and a point for most laps. That's about the best you can do. Chris Hammett will finish in second. Trent Potter, great pit stop strategy, got him out in front for a while, but he just didn't have the pace to stay ahead of the two guys in front of him, but he'll settle for a podium spot. These guys were fast, Chris Blasco and James Skelton. If Skelton would have had a better qualifying run and didn't have to make a pass through pit lane, Skelton might have been in the hunt for the win. Ethan the Mountain Troutman, a respectable 6th position. Sean Single will have to settle for 7th. He'll fall in the points a little bit. Zach Mitchell, a quiet 8th run. Bill Benedict was able to get around Ken Allen late in the race to get to the under. Simon and Poindexter set it at 9.5. My partner bet the over. Benedict gets the under. Congratulations, eggs with Papa Ken Allen. Rounded out your top 10. Partner?
All right, 11th, you're going to have Tim Combs. Jason Wells finishes 12th. Ben Coltez is 13th. Tony Strano in 14th. Jeffrey Souza, 15th. Devin Visnaw, 16th. Luke Logan Allen, 17th. Jeff Lemire in 18th. And Bruce Potter in 19th.
Okay, let's dial up the French-Canadian Max Terrio. I'll need to be told when he's able to talk because I can't hear the beep anymore like I used to. Max, it's Soup up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, got you clear.
Any worries at all after those pit stops that you were so far back, or were you confident that you could run down the leaders?
Well, I ran long to save tires for every other run, but also hoping for no caution coming out of the pits. And if there needed to be one, I would have been probably third or fourth in dirty air and not the same finish. So, yep, hoping for no caution, that's for sure.
So what was the key to the race? Was dirty air an issue? You were out front for a lot, that had to help?
Yeah, I feel that first run would dictate a lot because it slides, especially in 1 and 2, it slides a lot behind someone. So who knows how it would have turned out if I had been further back behind. But I practiced a lot for qualifying to make sure that I had a good front row spot at least to begin the race, and it paid off.
Okay, we have a segment here when we think we're going to talk to a guy a lot. We have these questions that are sent in by the fans. This is what they wanted to know. This is Get to Know Max Terrio. Here it is. What is your favorite way to eat an orange?
From
I
a
have
bottle.
stumped you. Do they have oranges in Canada? They must have oranges in Canada. All right,
Yeah,
I've given you an orange. How are you going to eat it?
Oh, with peeling off in my hands.
Peeling it off and eating it in segments. All right, there you go. We'll see you down the road with more important questions. Congratulations on the win.
All right, keep them going.
All right, there it is. I think I fooled the Canadian there. They don't have a lot of fruit up there because it's cold. They eat like nuts and barks off of tree branches. All right, who you got, partner?
All right, I'm sitting here with Mr. Second Place tonight, Chris Hammett. Chris, you got a copy?
I got you, Mr. Buckley.
Man, you surprised me a little bit. I shouldn't be surprised. I've known you long enough. All of a sudden, that 6 was there at the end. A little bit of a strategy there on pit stops, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I just kept myself from being too aggressive and put myself in bad spots. I've been told I do that. But no, yeah, just kept it clean, kept her out of the fence. That's always the main goal at Darlington. And then yeah, obviously trying to do something to get ahead of the 42. Because as we all know, not many nights are we going to catch Max on speed. So short pit it there a little early. Was hoping I could run the 18 down and then kind of get by him and create a little bit of a buffer. Maybe catch a yellow before the 42 got by me. But yeah, then once Max got by me, I was really hoping for them two to get together, but that didn't happen either. But hey, P2 at Darlington has still got the right side on it, so we take those and we'll move on to the next one.
No, definitely a great run tonight. Definitely. So I was talking about it with Soup. I was saying, is anybody going to take 2 tires? And all of a sudden, right there at the end, there's Chris Hammett. So I'm not really surprised by that at all. So great job in a second place. And finally, to ask anybody you want to thank.
Oh, well, of course, I got to thank my loving wife, Ashley, who watches every week and supports me and coming back here and doing what she calls fake racing, but we got to work on that title. Um, so I got to thank her. I love you, baby. Obviously, got to thank all the boys at Forex Racing, Zach, Sean, and Ryan. Sean on his big win to open the season last week. We're one spot away from going back to back as a team, but obviously really proud of everybody and all the effort that we put into this and all the effort that we did over the off season in our failed Daytona 24 run, but we'll get that next year. Shout out to the admins as always, you, Josh, my BFF, James Skelton, and Ethan. Shout out to the new broadcasts on VGN. Thank you guys for coming on board this year. Really excited to have everybody. Bob Higgins and the Higgins family, Checker Flag Auto Supply, Django Maserati's Hamburger Lounge, back on board in the black and gold for another season, trying to get that third championship. So I've been really not shut up about it. So shout out to Mr. Django. Always happy to have them on board. Looking forward to next week. Then we go to Charlotte in the next gen car, so that'll be interesting. Excited for another season here at Red Light. It's the best league in iRacing, bar none. So thank you guys for the broadcast. Thank you everybody out there watching, and we will see you next week in Charlotte.
Chris, real
All right.
quick, it's Soup up here in the booth. You're
What's
in jail. You're in jail. You're going to the electric chair the next day. Your wife's cooking your final meal. What are you asking for from her?
Oh, not a question. Her chicken parm is my absolute favorite. My wife is an amazing cook. I tell everybody that I meet now, when you meet a nice girl, meet one that can cook. It's awesome.
Chicken parm. All right, that's going to make it into the next broadcast. Well done, buddy. We'll see you down the road.
Take it easy, fellas.
There you go. That's how you answer one of those. Okay, help me out when we have Trent Potter. We'll bring him in here. He's in. Trent, it's Soup up here in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, what's up?
All right, Trent, when I was a young boy in high school and I was going to the dance, my dad told me, look, son, you're not the cutest girl at the dance, so get yourself an expensive pair of high-heeled shoes, which confused me a lot but my dad was ahead of time in gender fluidity. But the point that I'm bringing that up to you, I don't think you were the prettiest girl in the race tonight. Terrio clearly fast, but you got yourself a fancy pair of shoes with those pit stops, and you made it interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to go off pit a little earlier than everybody, and it's just as the race went on, it just got worse as far as the longer the run went, and I didn't have the fastest car, but I thought I had a top 3 car, top 5 for sure.
Honestly, I thought you had a top 2 car. Chris coming back on you was a bit of a surprise for me.
Yeah, I got into the wall a few times there at the end, and I was pushing real hard, and it was just I probably wore the right front out, just getting a little tight. And Darlington is just one of those tracks. If you catch up to me, I'm probably not going to fight you too much.
Well, you've been out in front a lot this season. We'll see you down the road. Another good points night for you. Have a good run next week.
All right. Thank you. See you next week.
Trent Potter. All right. With that, we're going to wrap things up. Stick with us, though, because the most important part of the broadcast is coming right now. Oh, well, there's just too many to talk about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races to talk about that are coming up. Choose one you like. Watch one, watch a few, or better yet, watch them all. Get your wife to make some chicken parm and sit down with that and enjoy the broadcast. All those races, plus the ones in the past and the ones in the future we haven't shown, are all part of the Virtual Grip Network. And who's part of the Virtual Grip Network? All those faces you see there. Look at me, I'm in pole position. Josh Buckley, he did not have a good qualifying run as he's well down the order. Where is he? Oh my goodness, inside row 4. He's got a lot of work to do before the checkered flag falls. But the checkered flag's fallen tonight. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. If not, we'll try to do better next time. Until then, have fun storming the castle.